6 p.m. here in Cairo, time for Egypt News, and we start straight away with the main headlines. The 8th edition of the National Youth Conference kicks off tomorrow with President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attending. Tunisia gears up for the second free presidential election on Sunday. And Ireland doubts the UK Prime Minister's ability to pass any new Brexit deal. Welcome back. With President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi attending the 8th edition of the National Youth Conference, the NYC kicks off tomorrow at Cairo's Al Manara Center for international conferences. 1,600 youths representing different governorates will be participating at the forum, which provides a vital platform for the interactive communication between officials and the Egyptian youth. Meanwhile, the official online page for the Ask the President initiative said that raising questions to be answered during tomorrow's youth forum was closed off ahead of the launch of the event.
شباب مصر هو أمل مصر عشان أنتم الشباب اللي تقدروا بفضل الله سبحانه وتعالى تغيروا الواقع إلى واقع أفضل بالجهد والإصرار والصبر.
المؤتمر الوطني للشباب
المنارة سبتمبر 2019
تحت رعاية السيد الرئيس عبد الفتاح السيسي رئيس الجمهورية.
Dr. Mustafa Madbouli reviewed a report on the results of a field training drill over a plan to face the upcoming floods and limiting their dangers. The drill was implemented in a village in the Upper Egypt province of Asyut earlier this month. The Prime Minister had earlier decided to form a national committee for the crisis and disasters management. The committee is tasked with reducing the dangers and the risks associated with the disasters such as floods and offering effective and instant response to mitigate the risks. Defense Minister General Mohammed Zaki, the General Commander of the Armed Forces, returned home today following an official visit to the Republic of Cyprus. During the visit, the minister held talks with the Cypriot counterpart over bilateral military cooperation and joint drills. General Zaki also held a meeting with the Cypriot president, who held the relations with Egypt. The Libyan National Army announced it had downed 3 Turkish drones in southern Libya. The LNA said in a statement that 2 of the 3 drones fell at the Al Jafra area, while the third was downed at the Al Kafra area, both in South Libya. The LNA pointed to the Libyan Air Force troops destroyed all the Turkish drone launch centers at the Misrata city in western Libya. Tunisia will hold on Sunday the second free presidential election since the 2011 uprising, with the growing uncertainty over who will reach the next round. 26 candidates are in the race, including the incumbent prime minister. 7 million voters are expected to head to the ballot boxes after a campaign that largely focused on the social and the economic challenges that have plagued the North African country's democracy. Israeli occupation forces today attacked Palestinians marching at the borders of the Gaza Strip, wounding at least 1 protester with the fire bullets and 10 others with tear gas. The weekly marches were launched in March of 2018 to uphold the right of return and break the Israeli blockade. A national body organizing the marches called for the Palestinians in the occupied West Bank to confront the Israeli plans of annexation for the land. Meanwhile, a joint communique by France, Germany, Italy, Spain and Britain voiced concern over the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's plans to annex parts of the West Bank. Netanyahu has issued a pledge to annex the Jordan Valley in the occupied West Bank if re-elected. In Turkey, the former Prime Minister Ahmed Davutoglu, once President Tayyip Erdogan's closest ally, said that he resigned from the ruling AK party, and again criticized the ability to govern, though he did not immediately launch a new party as expected. The details in the upcoming report.
Former Turkish Prime Minister Ahmed Davutoglu on Friday said he would launch a new political movement in the latest challenge to President Recep Tayyip Erdogan from his former allies. Davutoglu was the Prime Minister and chairperson of the ruling Justice and Development Party AKP between 2014 and 2016. At a press conference in Ankara, Davutoglu said that he resigned from the ruling AK party, adding that the party has fallen under the control of a small team and no longer had the ability to be a solution to their country's problems. There have been persistent rumors that he would establish his own party to rival the AKP, especially after he criticized the annulling of the results of Istanbul's mayoral election when it was won by the opposition. The opposition went on to win the rerun of the vote in Istanbul by an even wider margin, having also conquered the capital Ankara, both of which the AKP and its predecessors had held since the year 1994. Amid disquiet over the crackdown on political opponents following a failed coup in a 2016 attempt, ex-economy minister Ali Babakan resigned from the party in July, citing the need for a new vision for Turkey and deep differences over policy. Bakan also served as both economy minister and deputy prime minister between 2002 and 2015. And he said earlier this month that he would launch his own party by the end of the year.
In India, the government data showed that the authorities have arrested nearly 4,000 people since the scrapping of Kashmir's autonomy last month in one of the region's biggest crackdowns. Meanwhile, the Pakistani Prime Minister Imran Khan visited Muzaffarabad, the capital of Azad Kashmir, the part of the territory controlled by Pakistan. India revoked the special status of the portion of Kashmir on August 5th, a move to quell unrest by clamping down on the communications and freedom of movement. And the Irish Prime Minister Leo Varadkar said that he was not sure the British counterpart Boris Johnson would be able to make the compromises necessary to get the Brexit deal that would win enough support from the UK lawmakers to ratify it. Johnson will meet the European Union chief Jean-Claude Juncker in Luxembourg on Monday in a bid to broker the Brexit compromise ahead of the October 31st deadline. Johnson refuses to sign off on the agreement that includes the backstop, a compromise that is intended to keep the frontier open for trade and crossings in all scenarios. It was accepted by his predecessor Theresa May, but failed to win backing in the British Parliament. The Arab Authority for Industrialization held talks with the delegation of the Italian Union for marble industry within the framework of increasing foreign investments. Head of the Arab Authority for Industrialization, Abdulmunem At-Tarras, stressed the importance of activating partnership with the international giants. He added that the cooperation fields between Egypt and the Italian Union include exchanging expertise and upgrading technology used in manufacturing marble in accordance with the international standards. At-Tarras noted that the authority's strategy aims at meeting the local market needs and also to open new markets in the Arab countries and in Africa. Egypt and the United States launched the first strategic dialogue in the field of energy in the attendance of Tariq Al-Mulla, the Minister of Petroleum and Mineral Resources, and Dan Brouillette, the Deputy Secretary of the American Department of Energy. Al-Mulla described the Egyptian-American relations as historic, noting that the strategic dialogue aims at increasing bilateral cooperation and increasing the direct foreign investments. The American top official said that the dialogue will facilitate cooperation between the government and the private sector in the field of energy. And the euro rocketed to a 17-day high against the dollar as the German government bond yield surged. The euro was up 0.3% at $1.1096 after jumping earlier to $1.11095. The dollar rose overnight against the Japanese yen after Donald Trump said that he would not rule out the interim trade pact with China, then gave back some of those gains. Al-Ahli football team continue training in preparation for the encounter with the Kano club of Equatorial Guinea tomorrow at 6 p.m. in the first leg of the CAF Champions League round of 32, due to take place in the capital Malabo. Al-Ahli reached the round of 32 after beating Itla Barra of South Sudan and equaled the record for the CAF Champions League aggregate winning margin. The Red Devils won the tie 13-0 overall to match the margin achieved by the Young Africans of Tanzania 10 years ago. Zamalek also continued preparations ahead of the match against the Generation Foot of Senegal, due to take place tomorrow at 8 p.m. in the first leg of the CAF Champions League round of 32. The cup title winners reached the round of 32 after beating Dikadaha of Somalia 13-0 on aggregate in the preliminary round of the CAF Champions League. And Mohamed Salah was named the Liverpool Player of the Month last August. The English club said that Salah was awarded the title for his performance with Liverpool during the month of August, as he was voted the star man by Liverpool fans after scoring 3 goals and providing 2 assists in 6 appearances. Sadio Mane and Roberto Firmino were also shortlisted in the August fans' vote. The leading edge of a potential tropical storm brought rain and wind to the Bahamas, complicating the search for 1,300 people missing in the wake of the worst hurricane to ever hit the island nation and the efforts to bring relief to survivors. Hurricane Dorian slammed into the Bahamas on September the 1st as a Category 5 storm, one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes on record to hit the land, packing top sustained winds of 185 miles an hour. And 4 people have been killed in 2 days of torrential rains in Spain, where the emergency services have rescued people stuck in the flooded tunnels. An airport and local train networks and dozens of roads were closed as the flood swept away cars and debris and forced the evacuation of hundreds of people in the regions of Valencia and Murcia. Parts of Spain have since suffered some of the heaviest rainfall on record. And this brings us to the end of Egypt News for today. Thank you for watching and goodbye.